It's lying, yeah?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's lying.
Yeah, so say Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, God want us, the elder apostles, the great millstone, rule well. Shalom to the hopeful elect, to the brothers pushing this word to the four corners, man. We're out once again. You're out once again, we've recently come into the year 2026 and everything's been popping off. Now I just checked the news just before we kicked off, and there's been, yet another ICE taking someone out in Minnesota. So, like, as far as for, the spirit of these times now, it's all about prophecy, man. And that's really the, the state of how the world's been. Like, post 2020, there's been a shift. Like, people are reminiscing, saying like, 2016, 2017, 2018, reminiscing about how it was a good time, things they were doing back then. Because why? As far as for now is the time of where it's non-stop crises, non-stop geopolitical situations. That's really all that people are getting in the modern day. And the reason why is because it's all prophecy. Now's the time where this kingdom's, at its end. It's basically on its tail end, where it's tapering off. It's losing that energy. There's a point in time where the different European nations, where America, where they had like a level of renown and regard in the world that no one could really check for them. No one could really test them. But now we're in a time where you have, South American countries like Brazil, South Africa, the Middle East, even Dubai, UAE, China, South Korea, these different nations, India especially, they're basically built up to where they're now contending. Because why? The spirit of this place is waning, and the other nations are being built up. Because why? It's prophecy. They're all going to go into a huge conflict in the Middle East. And that's what we've seen stirring up. That's why you have Trump talking about the Gaza Strip. We were talking about it just before as well. Developing all that. Yeah.
Revelation 12 and 12. Well, I'll read it from, I'll read it from 10. Revelation 12 and 10. It said, Revelation 12 and 10. It says, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now has come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of his anointed. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night.
Yeah, the accuser of our brethren is thrown down. They accuse them before our power day and night. That's the thing is when dealing with these elites, especially, the way the elites are getting down, they're looking at things where they're the left-hand side. They're going through spiritual means through the left-hand side. So they're going through Satan. But it's working to their reward for a season. And a big part of that spirit are all suppressed. Because that's the thing is they've known from back in the day, if you go into Deuteronomy 28, it breaks down. If you keep the laws, if you keep the commandments, there'll be blessings put upon you. But then if Israel breaks those same laws, then curses come upon them. And them curses basically allow the heathen one over Jake, which is the state we're in now. But that's come to an end. What is Lamentations 4, like 21, it says what punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished. So there's an end put on how long Jake's going to be in that destroyed state, and that's what keeps the elite in terror. They're thinking like, damn, we don't want to even give an inch for these guys to browse up.
Yeah. Shall I read on? So it says, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death.
Yeah, overcame him by the blood of the Lamb, through Yahweh Shai. That's the means by which we really have any form of power in this world. This is a world where it's like the carnal is completely taken over. in like as far ICE is a good example. The means by which ICE executes power, they're not even utilizing the legal system. They're not utilizing legislation. Well, they've utilized legislation, but they've just like legalized their use of force. It's basically weapons, like actual the gun. That's how they're able to enforce their will. And the fact that they're meant to be immigration control about immigrants, but then you have what citizens being laid down. And why is that? Because it's as far as just as it was over here with the digital ID, the situation with immigration, that's really a justification. That's a problem to then produce a reaction, so they can come with a solution. And then what ICE is doing now is really that solution, because we're seeing the fulfillment of what they've desired. Because you had, as soon as Trump came in, you had the military National Guard going into these different cities and saying, oh, there's a crime wave, we need to counteract that. But then ICE has had a much better angle as far as producing.
There's a little bit more on this. So it says, and they love not their lives unto death. It says, therefore rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
Yeah, the devil's coming down with great wrath. Because that's the thing, now is the time, as far as for all these prophecies, now's the time they're going to be fulfilled. We're not going to get into the kingdom, and then Esau 1,000 years later, Russia's going to raise up, right. Jake's going to go back into slavery, and then we're going to have to go through all this all again. Like I quoted from Lamentations 4, the punishment is accomplished. You'll no more be taken away into captivity. That's part, which then means the what? That means so now's the time for all those terrorists that you saw, got all these different weaponries, all these different tools. Now's the time to utilize them. Talking about microwave guns, all kinds of advanced weapons that people don't know.
Well, these have been, that weaponry that had a rollout like a decade plus ago of non-lethal weapons. So they showed you in you remember the video? Mm-hmm. They had the radio where basically would give you Havana virus, which is when you just get fried by microwaves. So they showed it on American news.
Forever, like I think a decade ago.
I think like 2014, 2013. Well, I remember they had the crowd fake rioting, and they turned it on, they ran away. But I knew from when I saw it then, I said, yeah, that's the black one. What would it be like if they turn it all the way to max?
And the other thing as well, they said for weaponries, it's been Gaza, because they said a lot of like Palantirs, their systems of how they're basically utilizing AI, utilizing modern technology in warfare has been tested out in Gaza. A lot of those things was basically proof of concept, which is why now they've got more valuation. So that's the thing is with these things, they've had plans in mind. They've had like they had dry runs where they'll kind of be like, okay, how these situations are gonna go. Then they'll have little incidents that happen here and there. But as far as these are the things, now is the time of those terrorists. People are out here thinking, oh, you know, like people are trying to get the spirit of, can everything just go back to how it was?
Yeah.
But the reality of it is people were saying that back in the 80s. People were saying that in the 90s. People thought in the 90s it was like, okay, yeah, it's going to be good.
Well, they're saying that in the 60s. When people start dying. You know, the president died, Marilyn Monroe. You know, that was a big shock to the system. You know, the 50s was a different type of energy. That's it. It was like a perfect scenario. You know, the white picket fence and all that type of stuff. But in the 60s, it looked like, you know, a controversial period to be around, you know?
Yeah, of course. What do they call it? Thingy rights, the civil rights movement, women's liberation, all these different things. There was an upheaval in society. But that's the thing is, it's like, as far as now, it's like people are really lethargic about all these things. They don't really have anything to kind of strive and stand for, because there's not really any hardship being felt, mainly in the Western world. But that's why it'll be much easier for them. Like, because the thing is, that the objective is the beast system. The objective is that mark, the MOTB. They want people to take that like happily, cheer and laugh and celebrate receiving it. And a lot of people will do it just off the back of thinking, oh, I can be like Robocop, I can be like the $1 Million Man or whatever, the $6 Million Man or whatever. But there is a lot of the way they're going to get people to take it is through the margins.
Yeah, that's right. So I've got in Ezra 15 and 18. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with a sword and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and for great tribulation. That's the times we're coming into, and that's happening now. See, you mentioned you all watched the video with Ice a minute ago. What the hell was that? That's people not having pity on each other, man. And obviously they're doing it under the guise of the whole immigration, etc., etc. But we know, what does the scripture says? Esau's coming down with great wrath, man. Basically, the dragon on his teeth, which is the Roman Empire. This is Rome, and they show their teeth. That's how they move, man. Basically, once policy goes out the window, the shots, the fucking iron swords come out. The policy don't matter. Really, with your policies don't matter. He moves the benchmark how he wants to. No? And then, remember, they function through violence, bro. They're coming down with great wrath.
That's the blessing.
Yeah.
You got more, you know.
There's more, but I can read it after.
Okay. Revelation 3 and 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Yeah, the hour of temptation, which is going to try all. Everyone on earth is basically going to have to be engaging with and dealing with that. And that's the thing is to some degree, there's the birth, the contractions, the birth pains of it, the little pre-shocks are kind of being felt. That's what these different crises are. That's where you have different forms of currencies losing value. That's where you have like the, what do you call it, the education system. The idea that you could just go uni, then you're going to get a job and make good money. Those things are starting to fall apart.
That's been thrown out the window. People got. You're right. That formula doesn't even work anymore, man.
Yeah.
What the hell are they going to? Some people. Sorry, bro.
I was going to say, I heard them, like some people laugh, and I think they probably laughing because as far as if they probably say shit, and they probably don't realize that was like a surefire way for you to earn a living. Like you go and get a certain degree.
Break the middle class.
You get a certain level of degree, with a certain industry. You're going straight to the top. Straight to the top. You're good.
That's out the window.
And now it's out the window. Now you have to basically get your masters. The level which you got in at, in terms of having a qualification, a lot higher. To separate from the plethora of people. Yep. And let's not forget that, especially over in the UK, they've times the price degree by 3.
Yeah.
So it used to be what used to be for a 3-year degree. It's now 1 year.
Yeah, I see that.
So basically, if you go back to the previous economy, you would have 3 degrees for the one that you got now, and it would have been of more importance and relevant in the society you live in. So that shows you that they're doing that as a play. All right, let's cash in because we sold the dream, everyone's buying into it, but in reality, like what happened with the pandemic, what happened with 2007 financial crisis, a lot of people looked up, graduated in college, graduated university, and they went out to the big bad world, and there wasn't a job.
No, nothing in sight. Nothing in sight, bro. Yeah. And you're right, I see that as well. To study's gone up. Mm-hmm. It's expensive. The semester, now it's called semesters in America, what they call it here? The semester has gone up. They're paying like some people are paying like 90K and shit to study.
Yeah.
A year and all that.
I don't-
Not to mention if they're foreign students and etc. And it don't mean nothing. Basically,
Unless you're, you know, sorry, just to chime in, unless you've got someone's gonna pattern you, like, and put you in place whereby, yo, just get this degree and we'll walk you right into the building, basically.
Yeah. Other than that, supposedly gets top degrees and they're a manager in a retail store. You know, they ain't got the high-end job they were thinking they're gonna get. So, yeah. So there's yeah. Read this.
No, you can
read it. Right. So back in Second Ezra's 15.
What we doing? What we preaching
and 19.
is tribes of Israel. You don't look like you're from fucking Israel. What's
What
it,
about-
like a
what
podcast?
do people in Israel look like?
Like they look Israeli.
So what does Iranian do?
Israelis look like they've got big nose, a bit like He's from Israel. He's from Israel. You're from Israel.
That's not what they said, though. That's not what
Israel.
they
Hey, that's what.
You gotta throw that on us. Like what? Big nose like that. So why I can say shit?
You know, you said it, not us, man.
Yeah, we're gonna just try to say, oh, it's
They're nothing but the last rep of Queen Vicky, innit? Like, you know, that's
Barbara Windsor.
Barbara Windsor. That's what
They're the Windsors, the Barbara.
They're the Windsors. Yeah, because Barbara Windsor's like Jake, that's their hero, innit? Yeah. She's the last remnants of them.
You have a good time, I can't lie.
Of course.
You can't take it seriously.
You can't take it serious. They're the buck. They're already talking, kind of, they're not but, you know, Israelite foreigners, man. Yeah, so there's more, right?
yeah.
They're heading.
You can hear it from here. You can hear it from here.
They're the type of girls
Coming up the road, you had them going down the road.
Fucking hell, bro.
There's girls like that. I grew up with that. I could have a little fuck. They'll love it. Oh yeah. Big tall strap, you know.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, I don't know if I want that, bro.
You don't want that, bruv?
I'm alright.
I'm alright, you know.
Happy birthday.
One more year.
Are you doing a live stream?
Yeah.
Let's do it now.
Give them
We're
this
doing
life.
something though right now, man.
Come on. Hold on. What are you saying?
Wait, can I be in it? What am I private?
It's a private thing, man. We're just quickly
Come
doing
on, let
something.
them be. Let them be.
Happy birthday. Yeah, take care.
Thank you.
Say happy birthday, my friend. My friend.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday, my friend.
One more year, one day.
One more year, one day. That's it, man. That's it. We're doing something now, though.
I don't care. I'm
You are
from Scotland.
Yes.
beautiful girl
That's
like
what I'm saying.
God bless you.
you gotta say, Esau's going down.
Esau is coming down. God bless everyone, and I love you so. God bless every single child out there. We love you all.
That's it.
Love you. Peace.
God bless you. Yeah.
Have a good
God
night.
bless.
Likewise, God bless you too.
You too. Yeah, there's nothing but Jakes, man.
They're the type of ones, you know. They fucking love it.
Let's go. Let me read this, man. Let me read this, man. Let me read this. Yeah, nah, but Jake, but she said good things. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
Bro, she said Esau's going down.
That's what I told her to say.
She told her to say Esau's going down. She said it on the thing.
Yeah, on the camera.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna read this. Yeah. Alright. So this is 2 Ezra 15 and 20. Behold, saith the power, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising on. I mean, that was it. That was actually it. So it was. I wanted to get the man to have no pity on his neighbor. That was the point on that one.
That's it. That whole spirit's come about. Because as far as you go back, the thing is, as well, a big part of that, especially in the Western world, is it used to be a lot more Esau.
Yeah.
They'll kind of just have Eli or Jacob or whatever sectioned off to one little town. Now it's like, especially with the metropolitan cities, it's all mixed up. It's become that melting pot. Well, that's really that's what the desire of the elite are. That's the joke. The joke is what the rank and file average guy wants versus the.
It's not joke. We're going to that now, isn't it?
Yes, bro.
Okay?
Yeah.
Right.
That's one, man.
Yeah, the way the rank and file G's on the bottom feels, the elite have no allegiance to that. they're thinking about their long-term plan. These guys have been having these things in the works for centuries. They're basically, bro, they ain't thinking about no average motherfucker, man.
Oh, yeah. That's true. They think about the new world order. The punishment of thine iniquity is over.
Yeah.
We did this Lamentations 4:21.
Sorry, just to say, all the people that stop before the company or like a local, you guarantee they're gonna see you.
Exactly.
But you see other Edomites, they
ain't got that spirit, man. That shows you. Remember the Bible says Israel are bold.
Yeah.
The Bible calls Israelites bold.
Yeah.
They're bold people, like, you know, they're like they they can be confrontational.
Yeah.
That's Jake.
Peculiar.
That ain't Esau, man. You see that's how you know the difference. The Edomites, you see, they're like, they do things like in the dark, man. They're not bold as lions, man. They're not. They're not lying like in the spirit. Yeah. So I've got something here, right? This is Lamentations 4:21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Eden, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through until you got to say Esau's gonna die.
Yeah. So say to hell when I'm thinking she ain't gonna go away, so I said,
It says, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Eden, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall thou shalt be drunken and shall make thyself naked.
Yeah, that's the thing is the cups really pass through. Because people in the modern age, they just kind of think things are function how they function. It's like people that would have been in the latter years of the Roman Empire, they would have thought, oh, it's just like this is just how things are. They don't realize like Esau had things on lock before we get for a minute.
Yeah.
It's like when you deal with it's like deal with the Greeks, deal with the Romans. They had like the world under manners. They could just go through and do whatever they want. It's the same thing with the British Empire. There was a period of time, like bro, it's like let the British just go somewhere. They just go there, shoot whoever they want in the head, take the kid as a slave, take the wife as a woman, and no one's saying shit. And then they're being treated as you know, like blessed or nothing.
what's even come out now that they one of the least reported genocide by the British Empire was that of Tasmanian people. They killed all island. So that shows you, that's something that, you know, they went back to, you know, to rest kind of thing, where like no one knew about it, nothing's been said about this genocide, and that really speaks to the magnitude of the power they had, where they could go over the earth, assassinate. There you go.
And that, I think that's where they after made that character the Tasmanian devil. Because if you see I think the Tasmanian, they were Jaffet, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you see Jaffet, we watch documentaries on them, they're quite like, they're like the Tasmanian devil, they're unpredictable, they're wild. And when you see the actual character, you see the Tasmanian devil, the Looney Tunes, he's like, you see how he goes on. They're kind of like that, those people. They're like unpredictably wild and that. And they don't really talk about like from Australia and shit, in those regions. They don't like them. You know, they're known for being like you know, just going hot basically. Yeah. So they made that character of it. So I'll keep reading this. So this is Lamentation 4:22. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away to captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Eden. He will discover thy sin.
Yeah, that's as far as all this, that's the thing is, all these different massacres, bro, it's like a lot of them, who even knows? A lot of these things are missing. Someone would have to be, like, as far as your average Jake got the means to go, you know, let me go and excavate and see what happened in this particular town. Let me go see if we can find the gold to work. Esau's going to be the one going over there and doing these things. Yeah. So that's part of this world, the tongue on himself. All those different crimes being drenched up. Then was it like Nahum 3, I believe?
Yeah. You get it? This is Nahum 3 verse 4. It says, It says, because of the multitude of the wealth, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcraft, that selleth nations for whoredoms and families through witchcraft. Behold,
That's it's through those witchcrafts. That's the foundation of how this system is happening. When you go into people that bear rule for the system, these guys keep high holy days on the left-hand side. These guys, the reason why you have as a standard the high holy days in this society are all ancient observations. Ancient forms of worship. That's what's been accepted standard. Why? That's what the elite have established.
yeah, we just went through one now, so-called Christmas,
Yeah, Christmas and New Year's.
which is a whole, which shows you this is world of the wicked, because they say that that's the day the Lord was born, which we know he was born in the spring. So going towards March and etc. The spring is when he was born, right? But still people push that narrative of the Christmas and that they celebrate. You know, I holy
Christmas and Christians will say like, oh well, you know it's not, you know he was born there. You know we just choose to celebrate around this time. But then it's just like what you really celebrate. It's the same thing with Easter.
Yeah.
So all these Christians are gonna buy Easter eggs, buy those chocolate bunnies, buy all those different little treats, whatnot. They'll hide the eggs, they'll like the hicks, they'll put them, then paint them and have them. Okay, we hide them all around the house. What like that's got to do with the rebirth of Yahweh Shai.
Exactly. And then Esau, man, he just, you know, these high holy days, he's like, it's a wicked spiritual worship on one side, and then he also cleans up with money. The guy, people spend millions during periods. It's a racket, man.
That's the thing. I was like, bro, I went into the fucking shop. I saw people, man, selling Easter eggs now.
Already.
I was like, bro, how you, like, it's fucking January, bro. Like, what you...
It's Valentine's first.
Yeah, well, that too is just rackets, man. So, shall I continue on? And then it says, behold, I'm again, he saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame.
Yeah, that's it. All those things that have been hidden are going to be revealed. A big part of this society is the spirit of philanthropy or east of life.
Yeah.
You have people where it's like, those a YouTube video I watched where they said, like, who actually likes Bill Gates? Oh, Bill Gates is a great guy.
Yeah.
As far as up until very recently, no one liked the guy. Because no one really liked it, because why? It's like the guy was known as a mean capitalist, and he was what? He was in court for what? Was it antitrust? Because why? It was as far as like with Windows, the level of control they had and like lack of competition they had, they're basically cornering the market where no one could even speak. They strangled it all out. And that's the thing, and that's what he was known for. So why are people going to be like, oh wait, he's actually a good guy because he's donating his money to this, even though no one likes the guy. But though it's that they're basically, you know, with control of the media, able to push out these different images. The same thing that's happened. Like now they're doing it with it's like Dubai or Saudi Arabia or Arab Emirates, where they basically try what they call it sports washing. They're doing the host boxing, the host different competitions, the World Cup and whatnot. And people come and be like, oh, you know what? This place ain't too bad. Social media persons.
Yeah. And the thing is as well, that whole, the Emirati spirit now, they're all going there, and it's basically a big money-making scheme. Because even all the criminals of the world go there now. They get to wash their money there. Because it's a tax haven. Yeah. So you see it. You see all these international... Yeah. But all these international crime lords are now setting up base over there. So it's no coincidence what it's become over there.
And then that
the
just
shit
shows
show.
as well the whole angle of Islam. That really ain't like the thing that proves in this society is money, man.
It's money, and you know what? Yeah, money is G-O-D, innit?
Yeah.
Blood, oil, and what they say? No, gold, oil, and drugs, innit? That's Esau, innit?
Yeah.
Let's see. Anyway, the Emiratis, they're washing their money there, man. You see it, and all those crime lords, they go there. And even someone was telling me how people open up stuff here. No, they'll open up a business
You're
in
gonna have it.
the Emirate world, but then the business will be open here, but the money's getting sent there. You get me? So basically, someone's opened something here, but basically it's a way of avoiding the British tax system. It will be opened up through banks over there. Do you get me?
Because they do. I think they do that with Europe as well. Certain Eastern European, I know Estonia, they'll have like establish a business there. You just get like an office or whatever, an address there.
That's it.
Then you can like the taxes are being done through Estonia.
Yeah.
Where you can save a lot more in the UK.
So they avoid they not wash it all. And Dubai has become that kind of place now.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like all these like the reality of that shining, glisten image is underneath us. It's all filth. It's all filth. That's really like, and the thing is, all these different like China's doing it, Arab Emirates are doing it. They will learn it from Esau.
They will learn from Esau. And the original, one of the Saudis, the son that you see in power now, his father, back in the days, didn't want to deal with basically Babylon and his father, and he was out by coincidence he was found dead, basically died. He didn't want to deal with Babylon and that. He didn't want, when they finally, because remember those Emiratis, those sand dune cats struck rich with the oil. You get me? And then
it was the
They should have never gave you nigga money.
like the hillbillies, they got struck rich with the oil. And then what happened is
They say they just they just got lucky. I can't remember. It's a mafia film.
I think that was Cocaine Cowboys.
Yeah. Mickey Monday.
They say now.
Yeah.
The fucking Ochoas and all that. It's like the Beverly Hillbilly that struck rich with the cocaine, and it's true. Basically,
That's Esau's world.
Exactly. The founding father of Saudi, the first king, I forgot his name, King Fahad. He didn't want to deal with Babylon, bro. What happened is, miraculously, he was found dead. Then after that, shit moved forward.
He was an obstacle.
They killed him.
The thing I think that put the Arab nation in the scope was the OPEC oil crisis. Because they basically, I think it was like during the 80s, they basically just moved off the American economy during the time because they just oil prices. So it's like from then they've kind of been hemming them in to where now they're favourable to it.
Yeah.
You might as well continue with that.
Yeah. So it says, Nahum 3 and 5. Behold, I'm against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I'll discover thy skirts upon thy, and I'll show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. And I'll cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock.
Yeah, I'll set you as a gazing stock. But as far as the reality of it is with what you put with Esau, it's now everything's been exposed, especially since the internet's come out. From when the internet's come out, any little incident, like you'll hear about, like just this ice shooting that we watched before we kicked off, where it's like if it was during the 80s, if it was even the 2000s, even if it was like the Iraq War in the 2000s, you're not really gonna see just live and direct, just raw footage of they just shot this guy.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even like they might be able to see what's blah blah. I'm like, bro, they had 7 officers on him. But then it's I know he was the comments saying he had a gun. I'm like, bro, I'll wait and see on top. I'll give it a bit of time. The man will do anything to justify the moment based on they're just saying.
You know what this is like, bro? Do you remember last 2 years ago they released that movie, that Civil War film? What was it called? Civil War?
Yeah,
Civil War. Because I remember watching that with a few brothers in the cinema, and it ended with them taking out the president. Do you remember? Did you watch that?
I don't watch that one.
Bro, it was a good movie because it was basically Babylon went. You had different factions, you had the army, you had this, you had different militia groups and all that, and they were just basically each other.
I really see it. Right now, it's all of this stuff more or less just
Ready to pop. Really?
Yeah. Build a foundation for everyone to go toe to toe. You might be thinking, all I need to do now is walk around with my passport. But no, the boy is going to be out traveling. And guess what? They're going to see you too dark to be an American. Or you don't speak good enough English to be an American.
Yeah. That's one of the scenes in the movie. They had one cat.
The Chinese dude on
Yeah, I think it's like one of them.
Yeah.
And then the guy in the military fatigue, he said to him, the guy goes, don't do it. I think it was Chinese American.
Yeah.
He said, are you? He goes to him. I'm American. I'm American. Then he said to him, what kind of American?
Yeah.
And then I think that's when he took him out.
Yeah.
You get me? Because really, when you say I'm American, basically saying you're a citizen of Rome. It's like anyone. You're a citizen of Rome, but Esau don't respect you.
There you go.
You get me?
Because that's why the tension is. This is why even like over here, most of these Western world societies, what's going on is there's basically a tension building to where they feel like you ain't part of this system.
Exactly.
Like you could be, because even I saw one guy riding a bike and he's listening to the, is it not Blur? Might be Blur. Sally Kate? Oasis, yeah. Like he's listening to that and he's like, oh yeah, he can stay, he's alright. And I'm thinking, bro, you don't know. You don't know. Like the funny thing is like, most of us, man, listen, like we grew up in that same period. We can appreciate the music that's come out of the UK. But then you might buck us and think, you're not British.
Exactly.
And it's like, well, you that, and that's my point. Because at the end of the day, you might gain an insight into somebody through a certain perspective. That guy is now, we can, he's alright. I don't mind being around him. But straight out the gate, you ain't gonna feel like when you meet him, I'm not gonna be walking around with an Oasis bucket on my head. Like, I'm not gonna be wearing that
singing fucking Wonder. I'm gonna be singing Wonderwall like
on Best I listen to that shit. I like that shit. But do I look like the type of person that likes that type of shit? That's not.
No.
And this is what a lot of you Jakes FBA out there in America, because you are the biggest donuts. Because you really think, because you've been there 400 years, that you have basically got a pound of flesh in place. Right. But the reality is, you got a pound of flesh, but why? Who brought over there to do a job? You weren't brought there to be, law-abiding citizen, that people be like the Negro.
Do you remember
He's a great person?
Do you remember one of them? I think I don't know what president it was. What president was it that died? And then there was that legendary picture of like it was like all these Edomites stone face, and he had that Jake guy. Remember crying, remember? And then there was like,
JFK,
it was one of them older presidents. Shit, the dude passed, right? And he had all them Edomites like stone face, and then Jake was like crying and that. Remember that? It was like a legendary picture. And brothers always cuss out like, bro, they don't give a fuck. He's there crying the hard side. Anyway,
that's it.
I've got a quick one. Micah 2:10. Arise ye and depart, for this not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. And arise is your rest. There's a lot of Jake where they really think America is their rest. It's the last place.
Or the Western world, anywhere they are.
Yeah. They're kind of clinging to it. They think it's a place they grow. It's a place that kind of is molded a lot of how they are. But then that doesn't mean that you have a stake within it.
Even Fat Joe, he was on a bloody live stream. I remember he was on a live stream and he was basically what he was saying in a roundabout way. Basically, he's a Puerto Rican that's been he's not a freshie. The other ones can F off basically.
Yeah.
Like bro, like you're the same. Remember he thinks because he's a Puerto Rican that's been there for generations, he's good. Same way Judah has that mentality. Nigga, first of all, Puerto Rico is still a colony of America.
Yeah, that's a state.
Exactly, it's a state, but exactly. It is, but then at the same time, what they do is they fuck them over with laws. They use Puerto Rico as like a tax haven for the rich Edomites.
What men don't realize is there's subculture. You're not part of the culture. You are a subculture of, well, not even the culture, it's just a subculture. Exactly. You might feel like a sentiment. That's why you sing.
Yeah.
You feel like, I'm part of the society.
Well, he's part of the fabric of it.
But you're a subculture within it. You've built a love within that society. But they don't look to you and say, yeah, man. Well, if it wasn't for them niggas beatboxing on fucking metro trains, I don't know what New York would be like. No one give a toss about you. They is sitting down in boardrooms thinking, oh, what did Jay-Z eat today? Where's Jar?
Yeah.
Like, where's Jar? Like, they're not thinking about you.
That's crazy, bro.
That's how, and that's the thing is
I got something after.
there will be a point in time where it allows me to say any white smoke.
Yeah.
That's really the thing is that even between each side. Violence is all
There's a war on the liberal white women right now. I got articles on that. Okay, yeah. Because right now they're trying to they're trying to take them up out of the way. So what the more, you so-called Negroes, you so-called Hispanic.
Yeah, the fucking princess, the Disney princess, the Belle, Ariel, whatever the fuck, any other one, the Snow White, the Sleeping Beauty, is now an enemy.
Yeah.
So how much more so than be a break, bro.
I got something. Because going into what you're saying about Judah and Ephraim, what you don't get is even when you call because you know them Ephraimites, they'll call New York and all that. And
Fresh in New York.
yeah, and then the Benjamin dude, English boy. This guy's not a real yardie basically, but he's the same as you. 2 generations apart.
Yeah.
You don't look to you any different, man. So I've got a quick one. Jeremiah 50 and 33. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were pressed together, and all that took them captive held them fast. They refused to let them go. That was.
Yeah. I was thinking even like was it Revelation 11, man? The two they'll celebrate the destroyed state of Judah and Ephraim. Because why? Because those two prophets tormented the whole world. Everyone basically, you guys are crabs in that's a crabs in a bucket mentality. Where you're like, oh, it's like London boy or whatever.
Yeah,
They'll say, man did not grow up in the land. I'm like, bro, it's like, what the fuck?
Well, that don't even matter anyway. Because the reality of the situation is, like you can say, oh, I'm from Jamaica, or even you get, niggas down in West Africa and all that type of shit. You got that whole, what they call it, this diaspora wars. Like, but the reality is, like, bro, like, if you ain't part of that number, you're gonna be destroyed. I don't care where you could be on an island, fucking knocking coconuts off the tree. Or you could be down in West Africa grabbing avocados and making some plantain, bro. Right. That destruction is gonna come meet you.
That's right.
Alright, you can lull yourself to sleep all you want and say, yeah, I got lit, bro, where I am. For how long?
There's one Jake that I'm around, and he told me that basically he's been in England for 20 years, but what he wanted to do is cement his papers, so he joined Esau's army. And what happened? He was down in some barracks in Devon, and he said he had to quit because them men were being NFs to him and all that.
Yeah.
Basically, they were wake up and all that, wake up and that. And he's like, the dude speaks pidgin English and he's in the army. It's hilarious. So basically, the guy's speaking patois and he's in the military. Get me?
It's a fucking recipe for disaster.
They basically was on his case, and he said, bro, he had to, and he was only doing it for the papers.
That's one thing I always say about man that come over here.
Get out of
it's
there.
like, you lot think
You have
it's
no
funny.
idea.
You got no, you think you know,
Yeah.
you have no idea.
You have no idea.
Because I see man to throw you under the bus and I think, bro, it would have been better taking me on as a friend. Because I would have showed you the ropes. I would have said, don't do this, do that. Don't let them, don't have it.
Really, they're coming and they want to extend their arm to Esau.
That's it.
That's what they want. But Esau continuously slaps. Exactly. But
Yeah.
Esau continuously slapped that hand away, man.
Yeah.
They don't want to deal with you, man.
And the thing is, they actually respect, well, they don't respect, well, technically they respect in a sense, the Jakes that don't give a toss
Exactly. Because they know that.
They know that
They're up on game.
I can't play this. Because I saw one guy in my area back in the day, 10 years ago or so, he was abusing one Milan guy, and he was like saying, please, where do I go? And the guy was like, hey, you fucking happy. Go there.
Yeah, I saw that. I've seen that one
And
viral.
then when, no, this is in my area.
Oh,
I saw
sorry.
something like this.
Was it a video?
And when he's, no, I saw it live like, with my eyes. Then when I'm walking, he see me, and he's like, alright mate, just go down there. And I said, yeah. Like, you lot don't know, they don't like you. You think you're coming over there and it's like, yeah man, it's all good.
Yeah, there was one like that I saw went viral. It was like a I think he might, I don't know if it was someone that didn't really get the lingo, and the guy's giving him directions, but mocking him.
Yeah.
And then it went like kind of viral. I'm like, bro, this is not even funny.
Yeah.
You get it? Anyway,
That's the thing. That's the spirit of Esau. That's the reality of it is these things now. That's what I was saying as well. The internet really has broadcast a lot of those things, but then you will still get people that are stupid that come in there and think there's signs of love.
yeah.
You know, what is it? The Black Eyed Peas. Where's the love? It's not here, bro. It's not here. They ain't got no love for you. I was gonna say it's the same thing as when Benjamin came over, because they were part of the Empire or the Commonwealth at the time. I think it was still the Empire back then. But they were thinking, oh, they were going to be treated as fellow members of the British Empire. They also respect the Queen and blah blah blah. But then they realized when they came over, no, there's no love for you. You're not seen as a fellow member of the Empire.
Some of those colonial jakes were more patriotic than people here.
Yeah.
And bro, when they came here, most of them, when you see it, some of them, the Windmill Station and the original jakes coming here, they were staying in bomb shelters in South London and shit. That's what they had to rent, a bomb shelter.
And
they weren't renting to them nothing. They made it from the ground up. Some of the houses in North London, I remember Amalek wasn't renting to some of the jakes. It only started happening after. Get it? And then back then as well, what them jakes was doing, they would make their own like banks, pardoners and stuff like that. They were like working with
Benjamin getting rap over in the UK. But the ones like I grew up with a lot of, I wouldn't say well-to-do, but they're not the yardie Benjamin. They're more the,
they're in the fabric of the society.
Yeah, and they do partners. You know, like I remember keenly. I went to this girl's sweet 16th birthday. So I had to say it like that. I had to say it like that because we went to the party. I knew from primary. So, you know, when you still got people in your school, these people that know her, they invite you. Yeah, come to a party. So I had to come down. I remember my guy, I don't even want to say his name because he's a bait guy. But he was a naughty kind of guy, innit? So he basically, he was like, yeah, we're gonna sing the birthday girl, happy birthday, get in the house now, you know, and everyone's taking the time. And then my man's like, get in a blood clot, get in a bomber clot house. Mum, excuse me, you don't use that language in our house.
Yeah.
And that's the type of Benjamin man grew up with. Like that's so it's like when now I meet like the young, I'm like, bro, this is a big, you know, like I don't know. I kind of, you know, when you kind of meet a certain type of people, and then you get surprised by. Also, this is the stereotype.
Yeah, but they're never gonna them kind of jakes and that. They don't really want to broadcast those kind of jakes.
There you go.
That do well in the society.
There you go.
There's a lot of them.
There's a lot, and that's what I'm saying. There's so many of them where they're up on
Shitload.
partners.
Yeah.
They do group economics and buy houses together.
All
Man
sorts.
telling me they're renting yards out there. They got this going on. Like shit, you hear and you be like, oh, he's not like.
They're up in there. They're up in there.
Yeah, you're up in
Up
there.
in there.
Yeah.
I got a bit more.
Go ahead.
This is Jeremiah 50 and 34. It says, their Redeemer is strong. The Lord of hosts, Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, is his name. He shall thoroughly plead their cause, that he may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon.
Give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. That's the thing is a big part of Esau's whole approach is having won over Jacob, having all these different nations basically supplicating and coming to them with a begging bowl. That's what they call it, the colonial kind of mindset, colonial structure. That's the thing that still happens to this day. That's why you have like women come from all these different lands. They're looking at Esau and thinking like, oh, cool, dark and handsome. It's like the James Bond or any kind of suave businessman. You know, there's people coming in thinking they're talking to a guy in a suit and they're thinking, oh, they're getting a little tingle thinking about it. But then it's like you're not really interacting with the guy.
Well, I was telling,
he's just some fucking
I was telling the brother, like, I was telling Kyle, we were talking about something. I was telling that where an environment I'm at, yeah, these people pay top dollar to study there, right? And then the funny thing is, one day I was there, and then one of the people in the place asked me, can I walk them to their accommodation? I said, why? They said, because basically they're thinking they're gonna come. They came here to this Harry Potter's world, basically, but then there's crack scenes everywhere. You know, like them areas, Cross and all that. It's just fucking full of dope scenes, man. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, the chick said, could you walk me to the thing? Because in her mind, she's paying top dollar to study it, but she didn't really. What I was saying is they think it's like Harry Potter. They come in, there's fucking dope fiends everywhere and all that.
I was meant to tell you, because
Same
when you
no-
said
the
that, I
same-
was meant to tell you,
I was
there's a
cracking
girl
up,
at the
man.
gym that I chat to as well, and she's Indian,
Yeah,
but her family's in Dubai, innit?
yeah.
So they're moneyed off, papered up. But then when she moved to, she was like, oh, I'm moving to Kensington.
Yeah.
Because I never knew where I moved to, they sold the development to her. So, you know, it's one of them areas around here, over the bridge basically, whereby, you know, they put money into it, so it looks nice. If you're there, it's banging.
The thingy photos.
Yeah. But then when you actually live there and you get out at night, you're like,
Yo, what the hell?
even I
Like,
see this what you call it?
Batman villain.
No. The guy that plays guitar for Rock North.
oh,
Ginger brother.
Simply Red.
Simply Red. Ed
Ed
Sheeran.
Sheeran, oh.
And he was talking to this guy, I forgot, he's got a mullet, but he's from America, he's got like a country accent. And he said, what places in London is sketchy? He said the whole of London is sketchy. You don't really, like, people don't, if you're not from London, you're not going to realise, like, everywhere is techie.
Bro,
Like, you can turn one corner and you just don't realise you're in the middle of a fucking war zone.
Right in the summer, all the new students coming, all these foreign students with their parents, loads of money, and then they walk in the area and there's two fiends fighting. It's like the two fiends fighting, one's shooting up over there, one's taking a dunk, and they're like, wait a minute, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah.
And then some of them even reconsider and stop. They don't want to pay for their kids to be here. Because you can send them to fine schools anywhere. You know?
Because that's even with, it's like this building here, I'm not going to mention it obviously, but it's got a certain person's name. I've seen people go past and be like, oh, that's that building. Then it's like, there's always homeless man just in there, bro.
The guy in the summertime, he's shouting, he's pissing against
He's picking all the things. It's like, oh wow.
like, even like, remember when we was outside your yard?
Yeah.
We're just chilling, me, you, shook the shots.
Yeah.
And then the man
yesterday?
pulled up. No, this is
Oh, yeah,
years
yeah,
ago.
yeah, yeah. I remember
The
that.
fucking Marley younger, who is older, pulled up and tried to say it on us. I'm thinking,
What are you doing, mate?
But the way, because of where man lives, it's one of them type of areas. It's
Right.
like, it's super techy. You would never
But the
know.
people would not know,
You would not know that's what could happen there. And they went until I see these pages, you know them gang pages, where they say EC this verse or WC N1 this, but and I'm like, what the fuck? Wait, hold on, all these people are fucking beefing around here. Got no idea because the cockroaches come out at night. If you're not involved, you're not gonna know what's going on.
Well, I'm gonna say it's like with what is it, acne, where they say it's been gentrified, and there's people. It's like it's funny. You talk to people that come from America, that come from Europe. It's like, yeah, I really like acne. It's just so safe. It's just like such a great place to be out at night.
If you go, certain time of day.
You didn't grow up with the trauma, mate.
Yeah, you don't know where you're
That's funny, man.
But it's
I have to
funny,
say that.
I see one guy, he's basically saying, oh, it's too hipsters. And he's like, oh, is London dangerous? And he said, like, nah, it ain't really dangerous. Not compared to like, it's not like Murder Mile when you said Peckham, but someone else. From when you said Peckham, I was like, as soon as he said that, I said, Murder Mile Peckham? I said, was there a Murder Mile Peckham? I was like, there ain't no Murder Mile Peckham.
This is truly Babylon, man. You see, you see of them like from Oxford, they'll be living in like Bethnal Green with Elam's next door. There's a whole Elam community, and they're there, like, you know, they got their, you know, they
casually move on a state.
I know, I've seen it. I've seen it.
And I'm seeing right now it's happening on that block, and I'm like,
what the hell y'all
I
doing
could
here?
never live on a block. Like, with what I know, I'm like, I don't want to be mistaken for, that's my man. That's, you know, tools.
Yeah, but what will happen is they'll just
Man saying on you, you're thinking, bro,
they'll just
I'm
dip
just
back to
taking a
shop.
bin out.
They'll
And
just
man's come out to poke you up.
They'll just dip back to Shropshire
Remember,
anyway.
to the fucking bathroom, like, what we doing?
I got something. Ezekiel 24:6. Wherefore thus saith the Lord power, woe to the bloody city, to the is therein, and whose scum is not gone out of it. Bring it out piece by piece. Let no lot fall upon it. Yeah, because that's referring to Babylon, and the Lord referred to it as a pot of scum. You know, basically, it's a scummy, like Esau's system's really scummy because, you know, this is a branch of it. It's America, but this is a branch of it. These are meant to be so-called high-end places, but that's how it's falling as well.
Yeah.
The scum's even coming out more and more out of these places, man.
That's the thing is, it's always, it's like even what like gangs of New York, like you go back in the day, it's like when you get to like America for like the Wild West and whatnot, they'll do all kinds of madness. What's the game? Red Dead Redemption. Like you watch like games like that. Cowboys, just going around, legging people up, grabbing with the things so catch
the Wild West. The Wild West.
So like, okay, you got to pay us or your wife's staying kidnapped. She's making fucking grips for us, man.
Yeah.
Because why? It's the baseline of the spirit that hangs in New York.
Yeah.
When they were meant to be like cleaning it up and whatnot. There's like all these different. That was about like immigrants and whatnot coming in, and Irish coming in.
And all those corporations that you see in police forces, fire brigades, they were all in gangs of New York. They were all gangs.
Yeah. What was
the
unions and shit like that. Because that's even to today.
The Irish took all of that.
Yeah.
See, the Irish. See, in America, they always refer to like the Italians and all that, the mafias and all that. But the Irish, they took over a lot of unions. They had like union gangs, the Irish. So they got hold of a lot of the building contract unions, the fire brigade. A lot of them got into the police force.
Oh, wait, transport as what? Transport unions.
Transport unions, all that.
I know Chicago's got one, I think.
Sí, pero teóricamente no
They're saying the unions, like they're nice and man. Like there's man on like fucking 6-figure salaries.
Yeah, bro.
Where it's like, oh, he's been off sick for the last 2-3 years. So oh, he got a back injury. He's been getting a 6-figure salary.
Yeah.
For 3 years, like them men are complete crooks and swindlers. But that's the thing, it's all these things that you know, people thinking, looking at America, watching old school movies, you'll think glitz and glamour. But then it's the same thing, it's like London. It's like the way people talk about London, I'm like, bro, I can tell that you came, you saw the tourist spots and that's about it.
That's
You're
it.
thinking it's something glamour and special. But it's just another place on earth, man.
Yep. Where's that
I was
one?
gonna read it.
Yeah, go on, man. No, go on, sorry, go on.
James 5:1, it says, "Go to now, you rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, are moth-eaten. Your gold is tangled, and your shall be a witness against you." And that's the thing is the whole system from onset of it, from this creation, is built for the benefit of the elite. This like as far as people think, oh, the laws, blah blah this, and America talk about what's it called, what they call it, the legislation, the
Amendments.
Oh,
amendments of the Constitution. Talk about Constitution, First Amendment rights and what, you know, free. That's all. Yes, because the fact that what's even happened is basically that whole bedrock isn't a short.
Remember Dave Chappelle, the fifth? I plead the fifth.
I believe the fifth.
Basically, that's what. Yeah.
All those things exist, but then it's as far as let you plead the fifth. It's over here in the UK. They've had it for a minute anyway. Where it's like if you don't answer certain things, if you don't like, I think it's coming into the country. If you don't let if immigration want to check your phone and you don't unlock it for them to look through it, then you basically will be under arrest, you'll be charged like under like terrorism or something. So these things like now become not, because in America it's the Patriot Act, where it's the suspension of the right citizens. Those things people are priding themselves in. All of that it really don't exist. It's not going to be wrong.
Yeah.
And they're really going to feel the pressure and the burden. Because as far as it's like people have that confidence.
Remember, Esau, like you said, when all else failed, that we were saying at the beginning of the lesson, he resorts back to you remember? That's his blessing. They remember Charlton Heston, he was the NRA gun club leader, isn't it? And then there's a famous video of him going, "Over my cold dead heart," when he's holding a rifle. That's Esau, bro. He's got a rifle like that. And he's going, basically they're talking about, because remember, in America you've always had for centuries, you've had, not centuries, but years, you've had people debating about gun laws, should they be allowed here, but everyone's got guns in America. Hey, he held the rifle over my cold dead, they're not getting hold of this rifle. That's Esau. And all those fails will load his rifle up. You know? So about his laws. Then look, and referring back to the amendment, the Constitution, bro, the Constitution was put in place. You niggas was in captivity, man. According to the Constitution, he was 3/5 of a human being, man, of a man.
So you can't swear by something that denounces your humanity.
Exactly.
Like this, and this is what Jake. That's
No,
why
no,
you're gonna be in
shit,
for
man.
a horrible surprise, man.
There were 3 things when that was written. That Constitution was written for the ruling class, man.
Right? This is what the rest of them shall be against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days.
And even we're seeing that right now with the price of gold and silver.
Yeah.
Gold is $5,000 an ounce, and silver is $100 an ounce. So what's that telling you? It could skyrocket to double the price. You know, the domination of what the silver is to gold can shrink as well. Go from 50 to 1 to that of 20 to 1.
Bro, it's crazy.
16 to 1.
Did you see that silver spike? It went nuts, man.
Yeah.
Remember before, like a couple of years back, he was able to get like £14 per coin for silver. Like 100 quid to get you some.
Well, we can still get in it on it now, you know, it ain't too late.
That's true. Get in on it. That's true.
Because if it does
Get
go
it.
to where, say if an ounce of gold goes to like 20 bags or 10 bags, and then silver right now goes from like $100 to like
grand.
£500 a grand.
Yeah.
You're laughing because you just maximize your.
It's gonna go up.
I'll do some more. Okay, yeah, no.
I'll read it. Alright, Micah 2 from the top, right? Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields, it says, and they covet fields and take them violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house and his heritage.
Yeah, so he goes back to the sword, like you said, he goes back to the sword. Force is what's utilized always. And it's yeah. But that's Esau's MO. That's always how he's got down. It's like as far as he'll kind of, you know, he'll be so-called reasonable. A good example would be like Hong Kong with China, where they didn't want to trade certain. Where he didn't want to trade certain goods, then they were just like, well, we're just going to come in with NAB in Hong Kong. You're going to give us a tea, you're going to give us a China, you're going to give us whatever the fuck we want. And the same thing happened with Japan as well. You know, now we closed up. They're like, well, you ain't. So unless you can like survive the cannon fire, then you know you ain't. And that's the reality of how it gets down. And so gentlemanly spirit that never really existed.
That's the serpent in the garden. Esau is, you know, smoother than the bird, smoother than the bar. This man knows how to, you know, walk you into a death. What do you call it? Yeah, like basically walk you off a cliff, right? You have to be mindful and very aware of, you know, what Esau is saying to you. You know, that's why it tells you. I always like to bring a scripture from 6. It speaks about the person speaking with their hands. This guy don't, yeah, you can, there's words coming out of his mouth. Look what he's doing with his hands and his feet, his eyes, and you know all the things that makes me portray his true emotion, his desire towards you. And the funny thing is now it's so bad that this man's going to show his teeth and his horns to everyone upon the earth because he only cares about, you know, his 1%. And then whoever else, that's it. And then the only people that's really going to, you know, everything is, you know, like for like. You have an elect, a chosen that's going to be taken into the kingdom of heaven, right? Predestined by the power of Yahweh Shai B'Shem HaMakar. And guess what? You have an elect hand side, you have an elect as well. That's why they have the, you know, rice grain.
funny because it's been it's been windy the whole day anyway.
Yeah.
But it's just like by chance the wind tunnel didn't catch you in it. But I was like, you know what? I realized that I would walk past certain roads, then it's like you're feeling the wind. Then it's just it just didn't happen to hit in it.
It's fucking choppy, bro.
That's what it's the temperature dropped
Yeah.
because it wasn't even that bad.
Keep it close and I'll just hold on to this.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be that. Probably have to move on. Yeah, couldn't remember what I was saying.
No, I was saying that basically, this devil basically, he has an elect, a chosen, all right, and it's whoever takes that MOTB.
Oh, yeah.
But guess what? There's gonna be a filtering process. It ain't, you know, it ain't like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna wait and get that. But you see what happened with Novin in 2020, all right? You have gene-specific diseases, all right? There's things that log on to people because of their genetics, a filtration system. So this devil on the left-hand side, he's gonna be filtering, sifting through the people to go to deem who's desirable and undesirable. They gave it away with the Georgia Guidestones. They want to maintain a perfect balance within humanity by having 500 million people upon the face of the earth. Right now, there's about 8 billion people upon the earth. That means you've got to do away with 5 billion people. That's a lot of the people. So this is why I say, you know, as it is on the, well, I don't want to say it like that. You know, there's a, you know, how it is on the right hand side is how it is on the left hand side. And they in these last days, we're going to see Esau bear his horns, right? Because a lot of people within, and this is why I said this, a lot of people within the society feel a sense of security because of the shade of their skin, because of the background they have. You know, they might say proper British, but you don't know. You ain't the type of British they want to show or portray as British, all right? Because remember, when we go by the television, all right? Television basically is, you know, goes into an affirm, right? Lights of perfection. So it's basically a show of what they want to portray upon their society, right? So now, for example, when you have people talk about England, the way everyone, oh, you all right there, chap? You know, teas and crumpets, fellow. Oh yes, he's a good chap. Come over to England, you ain't gonna see none of that, all right? But why do you think like that? It's been engineered by the almighty television, right? They're what's the word I'm looking for? They're basically presenting an image that they want to be established and maintained, okay? So that shows you that these people now that are rising up, same thing with MAGA, right? When you deal with America, there's a certain way they want to project, right? Babylon the Great, right? You know, the gritty American way, right? They don't want to show it. They don't want to portray to be like trailer trash, all these undesirable people. No, they have their use, but they're really cannon for them, all right? So all around the world, these people, they want to get rid of them. And especially, you Jakes, you might figure I can run off to somewhere like Africa, or emerging economy. Most of you, the world is over in the land of Africa. But guess what? If they're all over there, emerging economy, that means that the elites of the society need to get their claws in it and have some form of control. That's why you see the deal being made with Nigeria right now. That's why you see every other day they're saying with Tory, how they basically trying to, there was a coup attempt. There was an attempt on his life. There's no way where you could, there's nowhere where you can escape destruction. But you know what you should grab? Proverbs 18:10. Because it tells you the name of the Lord is a strong tower. This is why brother read it before, right? Micah, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Mentally, you got to remove it. Starts in the mind, right, with a pineal gland. Like dinner with I forgot his name, Andre, the movie. You know, he basically had the meeting and he spoke about a guy working in Yellowstone, I believe it is, dealing with trees, and you know, doing scientists and that, you know, working with it, and basically told someone, you know, speaking about New York being the model for cities in America, which is really the model for most the cities all over the globe. All right, they're moving towards a 15-minute cities, all right, the world over. Now, with that being said, right, they have an agenda at hand, whereby they want everyone. Go ahead, bro.
You're gonna go ahead.
Yeah.
Proverbs 18 and 10. The name of the Lord Yahweh is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe.
You wanna go into it?
Yeah, that's what our shield, our protection is. Because now it's basically we're meant to be keeping ourselves circumspect, man. Keeping our head on the swivel and staying clued in. That's what we'll see. You know, we'll see all these different things happen. Then we'll be piecing it together through the prophecy, through what the word says. And that's really means by which you can navigate the time. Because for your average Joe, you know, Joe walking around, they're just thinking about system, they're just thinking about the world, their job, their next holiday, or whatever. Maybe their family, their wife, their kids. They're not really aware that, you know, there's a greater things happening in and around them. And, you know, if you're not aware, then you're just going to be swept away. You're just going to be, like, basically moving with the whole spirit of this place. And it really is, you know, it's what the hand joined in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished. Even if you don't know, like, what your place in it is, you're still going to catch your judgment, whether you know it or not.
Right. That's it. Yeah, so that's really it. This is why we're seeing all the things culminate all over the earth right now. Okay, by design, there's an agenda being rolled out. Right now, even you had Jared Kushner going into these 15-minute cities. I saw that it's redacted. They're basically speaking about how, well, Jared Kushner was speaking to those of the Israelis about what their plans is with Gaza, and saying how the new city that's going to be for the Gazians, all right, not the Palestinians, but the Gazians, all right, which kind of gives you an insight to what they have in mind. They said that basically what they're going to do is they're going to they've basically stepped down and come up with the best blueprint for a city. And Jared Kushner basically said, like, I behoove that everyone around the world should basically build cities upon this foundation, this plan. So basically he's given, the alley-oop saying, like, yo, this is what is going to come to the whole world. This is going to be the infrastructure that's going to be set in place. So there's only going to, now going back to the point that I was saying with the Georgia Guidestone, that was a really insightful thing. They let you know what the plan was and what they're looking to do. But there's no two ways about it. That is what's on the agenda. This the devil, knowing that there's a short time, cometh down with great wrath. All right, he knows he ain't got too long left. So you know what he's gonna do? He's gonna try and make the most of the opportunity he has right now. Let's see how it goes.
I've got a bit more in James 5. James 5 and 4, it says, behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord. Third time I was bit now, just want to keep, they're swollen up because I've been before, so I just keep buying them. It says, Lord of Sabaoth, ye have lived in pleasure on the earth and been wanton. Ye have nourished your hearts as in a day of slaughter. Ye have condemned and killed the just, and he doth not resist you. And that's really the how Esau's been able to conduct himself. As far as it's been what a 500 odd year streak of him able to do as he desires, and you know he succeeded in what Revelation 20 said he's going to do. He's going to go out and deceive the nations. That's his role. And
Okay. And the greatest deception is going to come with that MOTV. Alright? Because even now, like you had come out with a former banker within the Bank of England said that there's going to be a whole ordeal that's going to happen. Basically, people are going to go crazy when a documentary comes out where a lot of current active members of government within America are basically saying that aliens do exist. Alright, so they're saying that that's gonna solidify the actual point of aliens' existence and a chance of alien invasion. So they're saying that it's gonna, you know, bring about a high level of panic and it's gonna mess up the market. Also, you had right recently what happened. You had 1.3 trillion. Yeah, I'm gonna have to hold it.
You know, I think the wind is
Random.
yeah, because it's like
It can't be
it's not even predictable.
yeah.
Because even when I was
that.
yeah.
You know what, I've been wearing my raincoat. It's the first time I wore this jacket. And it's so fucking cold, I can't believe it.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like it was. You know, it's just like
okay.
it's the same like 8 degrees.
They said it feels like
Yeah.
something else.
They say like 14 mile per hour winds. Max gust 39. I think it's just the alternator, which is why. Because it was meant to be raining, but what they said it was like 20. When I said earlier, it was like 20-30%. But now we're saying like 50%. It's not raining. It's like it rains. Then it's just I think it's the wind probably just blowing out. Like it's not letting it fall. Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 1 says, "For the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright. Our life is short and tedious, and in the death of a man there is no remedy. Is there any man known to have returned from the grave? For we are born at all adventure, and we shall be hereafter as though we had never been. For the breath in our nostrils is a smoke, and a little spark in the moving of our heart, which being extinguished, our body shall be turned into ashes, and our spirit shall vanish as a soft air." And it's funny because it's like you'll have like talk to people in the world, they'll just be like, yeah, they might be talking outside, yeah, you know, it's just kind of you know, thinking about death and that, where it's like nothing, you know, it's like after that it's nothing. And I'm like, bro, it's like that's why people are bugged out. A big part of why people can move and have the mindset of just do whatever the hell on the earth is because they're thinking, well, you know, once I drop dead, then that's it, it's all over. That's to each do as thou wilt. Because in reality, if you're thinking, oh, what if it's culminating something, what if I might be, you know, there might be have to answer for some of these things, then afterwards you might really think, like, am I really gonna, you know, just do what the hell?
But the funny thing is, well, people think to ask the question of, no one's come back from the grave, nothing exists. Maybe no one's come back because it's not come back, you know? Like, or, you know, it don't, it's not a short, you know, it's not a one-size-fits-all type of answer. No one's come back. That means there's nothing on the other side, so I'm going to do what I want. That's not how it works, you know? It could be a myriad of things it could be. And that's where, you know, the overwhelming confusion just drives people to home in their flesh and be worldly, right? And that's why they pursue worldly lust.
Yeah. And the thing is as well, is Esau has basically just put in a philosophy that serves himself. Where it's like, you know, well, if you're just gonna die, you might as well experience as much as possible. That's to his benefit. Meanwhile, the elite don't operate on that. They're not just doing whatever. They have order, structure, and system. That's the joke. But it says what? And our names shall be forgotten in time, and no man shall have our works in remembrance, and our life shall pass away as the trace of a cloud shall be dispersed in mist that is driven away from the beams of the sun and overcome with the heat thereof. For our time is a very shadow that passeth away, and after our end there is no returning, for it is our seal, so no man cometh again. Yeah, I don't even know. That's what I'm saying. It's like, the thing is, I know calling is like, it's like when I'm cycling in the morning, I'll be flying one way, but then over the course of the day, it just kind of change rotate.
Yeah.
So it's like sometimes I'll be going, it'll be like a headwind, and then from afterwards it'll be like behind me or whatever. But then it's like, today is just, I think it's just been blowing, but it's just by chance, it's not been going through where we're at. It says what, for it's far so that no man cometh again. Come on therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth. And that's how you know it's Esau Edom, do as thou wilt himself. Because that's basically the core of how this guy gets down. This guy is the king of basically just indulging what you want to indulge in. Basically, a lot of the justifications for actions they've done is like, whoa, you know, as far as it was in the power of our hand, and you know, it gave us a gain. What's the short-term gain? A lot of things they're just thinking like, well, you know, we can do this. But the thing is Esau's whole system is really short-term gain, because the thing you have to think is the bedrock of it is Israel. You basically the apple of the Most High's eye. You've been given a kingdom by a power, and then you've basically caused supreme harm onto what is most favored by that same power. You don't have to think like, how's this going to work out? But then you're thinking, what? You'll establish yourself forever. But then that's because why? The spirit that's been put on it is that rebellious. It's the same thing with Esau. The same thing with Cain. The same spirit where they're like, nah, I'm going to do it my way. They're thinking to establish their own righteousness, which they've attempted to do. And you know, that's what most people in the world now, they're invested within his system, within his form of righteousness. But then does that mean that it's going to be maintained? That's going to run forever? Of course not.
Don't borrow time.
It says what? Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments, and let no flower of the spring pass by us. Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they be withered. Let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place, for this is our portion, and our lot is this. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient grey hairs of the age. And it's funny because the way Esau presents himself, especially with the power of the image, man, Hollywood, he's basically been able to redefine what justice, what righteousness, what these things are, so that people grow up thinking what they see in Hollywood movies, in Marvel movies, in Disney films. Those things are really what people use as a measure of righteousness or justice. But the thing is those are just whole new, whole new
concepts.
Yeah, morals, concepts, those kinds of things, like for the new age. They're basically just sprung up for now. It's like
Part of the wine.
yeah, because even when you think with the age gap and whatnot and those things, like a lot of these, you go back to like the generation of people that would have been getting married in the 50s or 60s. They'll like people, the woman in 14, 15, 16 is not in any way frowned upon. That was normal. That was just when it was done. But now in the modern day, if someone's like 18 with a 16-year-old, people will be like, oh my God, I can't believe, you know, people are getting upset about it on things that like prior would have been close to normal. So these things now, it's all the new age. It's the fashion of the time. Was it Romans 12, man? The fashion of this world asks for weight. As far as just like in ancient Rome, when they have pedestry. Now, if it's like people are getting all upset about the Epstein files, but in ancient Rome, pedestry was a norm. It was like, oh, okay, you know, having as many boy slaves that you could diddle was basically that was seen as a right and a just thing to do.
Let me read this to back you up. Jeremiah 51:7. Babylon has been a golden cup. In the Lord Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore the nations are mad.
Yeah, the nations are all drunk on the wine. That's the reality. Everyone's basically intoxicated by this new brew, new batch that's come through. Because why? They're looking at it as far as thinking, oh, they're dealing with it like these are just how this is just, especially because of Hollywood, they're really thinking these things are just how things work. But then the reality of it is like a lot of these, it's like even period dramas and things like that, they'll write in modern kind of sensibilities into them. There was people getting upset with like Game of Thrones because of how women were being treated and, you know, violence against them, oh, violence against women and these things. Meanwhile, you go back 300 years, those things it wasn't even remarkable. Man could be in the street, backhand his woman, and bro, it's no one would even sneeze.
But let's have it right though. Men went to war for their women as well. It's not act like it wasn't, you know, this is how they like to retell history. We was just getting abused and
Women were just
you know,
getting uppercut and thingy.
Men losing the mind of war. They'll go into war. Stories like you read, you go into the Bible, it tells you about Zerubbabel basically breaking down the strength of women. So a woman had her power. Remember, because of her we all died. That's the ultimate power a woman has. Alright? Adam Eve introduced into the world. Alright? She brought about the fall of man. So that's what has to be understood. A woman has a power and you just think, oh yeah, she wasn't. Hell no, you ain't doing what a man's doing because you know there's different gender roles. I can't like lay on my back and get impregnated. Like someone has to bloody bring children into this world. That's a gender role. That fits into your gender. Like if I want to make babies, I have to, you know, bend the woman over and climb on top of her and put my, you know, and do the action, do the deed. So this is things that, you know, it's really confusion. That's what it's the sons of men. Read this. Revelation 17:1. And there came of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me,
It's like fucking hell. It's like I moved. Yeah, no.
My hand out of the pocket.
That's what I was saying. I was like,
Too much.
thingy, it's like something just snapped off on this one as I took it out today. And
place like New York, the chick doesn't have no one that is actually a New Yorker. You know what I mean? Just thinking about it as opposed to London. Verse 2 it says, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth are they drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon, the mother of harlots and the abominations of the earth.
Yeah, like I said, it's full of abominations, man. That's the baseline of what they built this whole society around. It's basically, and the thing is, it's really the revival of the Roman Empire. Because a lot of these things were done in the Roman Empire and were accepted as normal. And then even what it says in Daniel 7, it was a beast that was diverse from the ones that came before. Because they had the system of the Senate, they had the system of democracy. And it's like people say, oh, democracy started with the Greeks. And yeah, it was, in certain cities. But then that wasn't how they bear rule. They bear rule as kings. It was really with the Romans where they brought that system in. And that's the thing that's been revived here. But then even then, that was really utilized afterwards as they still had an emperor. It's the same thing now, where you have those that bear rule, but then it's obfuscated, it's hidden. There's too many layers of this, too many disconnected layers between where the war is and what we can kind of engage with. But that's as far as all the decision, all the kind of customs and morals and ethics of this place. They're really just an extension of Greece and Rome. That's why they have what you call it, the Renaissance, where they said it was a rebirth. They say it was like Esau was ruling, for 1,000 years. So Esau was ruling in Rome, and then Esau took Esau out, and then was ruling during the Dark Ages. Then Esau realized after a while, he was like, wait, why did we stop doing what we were doing 1,000 years ago? And started doing it again. That's the narrative that he's presenting. But obviously it was because of different people came in and established the rule differently. But Esau's come back in and he brought that same. Wow. Yeah, that's really right. He brought that same wickedness they did back in the day, that same spirit back. And that's the thing, is people think these things are new and fresh. It's the same with the ancient forms of worship now, different high holy days. People think, Easter's or whatever. They should, we're just celebrating this. Or they think, Christmas just, whatever. But they'll realize it's all ancient customs. And it's all been recycled back. And it's just like, you had the Tower of Babel with Nimrod back in the day. It was the same keeping all the people together as one. That was the same spirit with what was it? Antiochus, man. He wanted, he said the letter went out that all the people should be as one. Because why? As far as these people as far as these men are concerned, they're basically trying to enact those same ancient customs. It's just the means of execution has changed.
Lamentations 4:21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity.
Yeah.
He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins.
Yeah, that's as far as it's basically being flipped on its head. Because the thing is being that drunk, destroyed state. It's funny you mentioned probably not bringing out the article. The white women being under the scope now in America. And I saw the article a while back when it said like, hey, affluent, wealthy I think her name is, the one that got shot, the first one. Basically because what? They're presenting them as an enemy. Because they're saying, oh, they're not in alignment with the, the values, the agenda of what the system, they're trying to do with the system now. So, it's basically, it's funny. All those curses, and it was like the black woman being out of order. That's been the curse Jake's dealing with. Their women being completely out of course. And now Esau's dealing with the same thing. But then, and it's all those different curses. Now he's really feeling. As far as for now, he's trying to cement his system to have it all locked in place. Because why? As far as it's those technologies that allowed him to fulfill his system have also brought in more problems. And the key one for him really is with the the hopeful elect, with his word going out, man, with his prophecies being spoken about. As far as the spirit that's changed, the spirit that's keep going, bro. As far as the spirit of this place, since the word's been going out, especially since it got onto YouTube, it's been a whole switch up. And then it's really over a period of time, the biggest switch up really post 2020, where it's hit, where prophecies so in your face, like even your average Joe is thinking about, oh, they know what is it, MOTB. It's so, bro, it's like everyone that comes up that you ask, oh, what's the mark of the beast? They all say, oh, it's a chip. Like every last one, every month, like every Tom, Dick, and Harry that's come up, they've answered it without us even having to prompt. And then, or even if there's ones that might not have, then it's like you said, it's like, oh yeah, and I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Like it's gone out. It's gone out. To where it's like it's ubiquitous, which then you just think is crazy. Because guys, like I remember 2011, 2012 will kind of be like it's not really understood. No one's really heard of these things. So the spirit's really got. That's the thing that is really affecting these elite. That's why they're like, yo, we need to get this in. And Amon read it before. It's like Revelation 12 and 12 coming down with great wrath. Because why? They're looking to get this thing sealed, man. They're looking to get it done. The elite are dropping like flies, man. Evil Lynn's gone. The Queen's gone. It's like, they're looking to get it done.
Apparently, Putin was cussing out the Rothschilds, saying them man get out, he kicked out Jews from his country as well. So it ain't looking good for them lot right now. But we're gonna close out, man. Whether we're ill, well, it was a spirit, man. It didn't say it was gonna be this cold.
It said the fucking opposite.
Yeah.
It's been mild all week as well, which is a crazy thing. Yeah? But it's actually been mild all week. It's huge. They say it's raining. But yeah,
Lord willing next week.
Lord willing next week, man. Shalom.
Shalom.